Hello YouTube, this is AugustusLarch, and I have to make a vlog on aliens are a cover story. Okay, at night I have a problem with insomnia, so I listen to Coast to Coast AM, and what I notice about the guests and shows on there is their information isn't canonized. I listen to it a lot, and some nights I can't even listen to it because they're not on canon. Canon is like a set of literature that correlates with one another. It's put together. And it's not really a syllabized academic process to get your brain actually educated. It's mostly entertainment on late at night. But one person that's in there that has some measure of canonization and keeping things on a syllabus and organized in his brain for delivery out to the world is Michio Kaku, and he classes the human civilization as a class 0 civilization because we've got to dig petroleum out of the ground and set it on fire in friction machines to keep our world operating. And I'd like to use Occam's razor. Is it more likely that there's aliens flying around in the UFO folklore, or is it suppressed technology? The simplest explanation is most likely true, because you get into the whole alien folklore and UFO thing, you just end up with more questions. It just broadens the mystery. That's a cue that it's probably a cover story. And the establishment, people like to talk about the establishment. Have you ever seen the movie They Live? It might be Hollywooded up with and Roddy Piper's in it. It's a good actor. Don't knock a professional wrestler for acting ability. They got a lot more experience. They don't have to wait for any cameras. It's a live stage show on a bouncy ring. That's something for another thing. Another thing with the establishment and junk DNA. They did a genome study and they found out that a great majority of human DNA, they can't figure out what it does. If you look at any other animal in nature, they can figure out what everything does. This thing makes this enzyme, this makes this kind of tissue, stuff like that. But with humans, there's big portions of it missing. And all this is due to eugenics, and it's been going on for millennia. Eugenics is tweaking people through bloodlines to make separated classes of people. And there is an establishment, but there's also a super establishment that directs them, that most likely founded all the bulk of the rest of humanity. And if you ended up being too special by chance, they figured out some way to drag you out in the street and burn you at the stake for being a wizard or something, or a witch. And that's happened a long time, and the whole mission is to keep people down. This establishment out there and super establishment, they like to keep people like animals at their feet. Do they not? They like to keep us distracted and scattered and worried about stuff that's inconsequential, like what our sports team is doing, what kind of tail-chasing exercise the political world is up to, worried that God isn't going to like us after we die, stuff like that, because we didn't pay enough tribute to him during our lifetime. Inconsequential idiocy, really. And what are they hiding? They're hiding suppressed technology. I've seen it. I live in a rural area. I live in enough rural area that I can't walk outside and knock on my neighbor's door and say, look at this machine flying around up here. They're racing. I see them all the time. I see satellites too. I make a log of those so I can eliminate them as possible weird machines in the sky. And when people talk about there's aliens from Beta Reticuli coming here to abduct us, they have no idea mathematically the vastness of space. The vastness or the convolution of space being a series of Fibonacci spheres all bound together in a Fibonacci geometry arrangement. Look up Fibonacci geometry. It's the basic nature, how everything is arranged. And it's just on scales up the ladder to the size of the universe. And there's probably a multiverse, and if there is another class above or class 2, they're most likely not substantial in this world. Really. And why would they come to a prison planet where the ruling super elite has such a lock on people's minds and butts? They don't have to put chains around your neck and ankles anymore and make you a slave. They can enslave your mind, and your butt will surely follow. You know, with the television and the newspapers and the radio, just broadcasting inconsequential, scattered information all day long, and people are so worried about it. What's possible? Back in the day, Nikola Tesla independently figured out something called a gasless airship, which is a base level model flying saucer, what have you. He called it a gasless airship. And all it is a zero-point energy mechanism. I call it geodynamic refraction coil. And all it is an antenna that gathers electromagnetic current, like just flowing through the air all the time, from the Earth, from any celestial source. If you got the right equipment, it's like an antenna. You put it into a system, you run it through some coils, you get a usable electric current. Well, they do with that current? Sound resonance. They make big speakers. Have you ever seen a speaker car system? How it can jump stuff around in the waves of the low frequency end. If you got that tuned right, around 60 hertz, and the right sequence of, got the right resonance fields, you can stack standing wave, and this machine depends on a fluid mass. You can for lift and propulsion. And in the 1880s, many people saw this gasless airship. And eventually, Nikola Tesla was brought down by J.P. Morgan, who enjoyed. He only saw the concept of people as unwashed masses and as like animals at their feet, someone he could sell trinkets to. And Nikola Tesla's technology destroyed that ability. If people would have known about this and got it going with the garage hobbyists in the 50s and whatnot, that's the reason why men in black, men in dark suits, throwing snares in people's path. That's the reason. Because they want to keep us down. They want to keep us digging up stuff from the ground and burning it in our friction machines, thinking we're something special. We are not. What humanity could get up to. Instead, we're just trapped like rats in a maze. Something to consider. Thanks for watching. This is AugustusLarch.